Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. I'm here to talk about No Sudden Move. And this is a movie I've been trying to watch for a while, actually. Wait, did I say a watch for a while? I think I just said I've been trying to watch this for a while. That was funny. But I've been trying to watch this for a while. Honestly, a month ago, I tried watching it, and I was really excited for it because of the cast and the story. So I tried to watch it one morning, and it buffered, and it did not work. And so, guess what I did? I turned it off. And I went and watched another movie to review. Because these days, you gotta watch something, you gotta review, you gotta get it done. You can't just wait and wait and wait all day, just at your own leisure. You gotta get it done, and so I can't like spend hours trying to like get this fucking HBO Max to work to watch No Sudden Move. And so I thought that was trash. And then now like I honestly haven't really cared about watching it anymore because as time goes on, you just care about the future movies like the Sopranos movie coming out on Friday. I'm really excited for that. You just care about those future movies. You don't really care about that one's in the past. Like that Wrath of Man movie. That's another one I wanted to review, but I just don't really care anymore because it's in the past. It's in the past. And as a reviewer, you're taught to leave things in the past because uh, reviewing a movie from months ago isn't going to get you as many views, supposedly. So that's the honest thing. But I just decided to watch it last night, and guess what? I went on the HBO Max app and I tried watching it, and it said sign in required. And it's like, what the fuck? Isn't it like automatically signed in? Like, what the fuck? So that just like really, that was so retarded and irritating. And so I couldn't watch it on there. And so then I had to watch it on YouTube like usual nowadays. And it didn't work on there. And then I had to go to another place to try to watch it, and it was having trouble working there. It's like someone didn't want me to watch this movie. It's clear that they just didn't want me to be exposed to it or something. Like it's really weird. But I finally watched it. I figured out a way, and it worked, thankfully. And honestly, I kind of wish that I had left it in the past because this movie was bad. It was pretty bad. It wasn't horrible, it was just pretty bad. It started off in this really decent start with like, I think like 20 minutes of like, pretty good movie. I would say like a C plus type of movie. And then it just went downhill from there. As the plot unraveled, it became more confusing and confusing and confusing. The characters were just doing things that just okay, that character's gonna do that now, and that character's gonna do that now. It's like, and they come up with this like weird plan that just it does not work out, and nothing really works out in the movie too, and that's another thing is that it's a very unsatisfying movie, and that's not really giving anything away. From the type of movie it is that nothing's going to work out. I mean, that's what crime movies are. That they're movies that tell you why crime is bad for the most part. I mean, you have movies like Wolf of Wall Street that tell you crime is pretty good, uh, kinda. But this one does not. It tells you that and I'll say that that was the good part of the movie is the message because at the end, when they show like all the different characters, oh, okay, I'll save that for spoilers. Uh, but it had a really good message to it, and I think that the message actually was better than the movie itself. And if the script was really good, then it would actually be a really good movie. And once again, the script is the main problem. I don't know what it is nowadays. I mean, there must be some sort of a mental defect with all these writers in Hollywood. They just do not know what to do with these scripts. They don't know how to write anymore. I don't understand. Like this should have been a home run movie. You got Brendan Fraser coming back. You got Don Cheadle, the boring guy who really is not very good. He was really bad in this movie. He put on this, it's like this weird voice. He put on this weird voice, and he is like, hey, we gotta go commit a crime, and we gotta go kill that guy. He put on like this really strange voice, and then you have Benicio del Toro, and he's a really good actor. And in this movie, he was actually probably like the second best one, or the best one, because he was just so good without saying much. And by not saying much, I mean most of the movie he's like mumbling his words out. Like he's like, it was really weird. Like, to see how weird this movie was, it just did not make sense. All these choices that they made, it was so weird. And it felt like just so off. And like, this is not what a Hollywood movie should feel like. This feels like a low budget indie movie that has like a budget of like $1,000 or something. It does not feel like a big budget Hollywood production. That's for damn sure. And then they had another guy, Macaulay Culkin's brother, and the last time I saw him was the Scott Pilgrim movie, and he was pretty good, but well, I can't say anything more about him because it'll spoil it. I mean, he's been basically been typecast into these like tiny roles now, uh, where he's playing the same type of role in everything that he's in, because he was also in the Fargo season 2. He played the exact same character in that season, and so I thought that was trash. Another great actor though who did a really good job in the movie was I can't remember his name, but he's the sheriff from Stranger Things, and he did a really good job in this movie, because for like 30 minutes I didn't even recognize him. I thought it was just like some generic actor who just, he got typecast into the 1950s husband stereotype. But no, it was actually that guy, and he did a really good job because he had this transformation in the movie, and I actually expected him to be like one of the main characters as the movie went on. But then he's just kind of forgotten about. And that's the thing about this movie, is that they just the plot is just so bad. I mean, I couldn't even explain. Sorry about that. That was not expected or planned. It just felt like something like straight out of the Twilight Zone. This weird plot where it's like there's this guy who's working for him, and then there's this guy who's working for him, and we got to go figure out what that guy's doing over there. It's like what is this plot? Like this is such a confusing mess. It's such a huge headache of a plot, and it really does not make sense, and it's not a good written plot either. So it's this like very confusing mess of a movie with, it has some good scenes here and there though. Like the sheriff from Stranger Things had a pretty good scene, and Benicio del Toro had good scenes. He just did a really good job, even though he was not really doing a good job. Like he was just, it was weird how he was able to do so much with not speaking that much. And then another problem with this movie was the music, because this movie's music, they had this like this opening theme, and it sounded like a 1970s car wash advertisement. And it was this really weird sounding music. And they kept on playing that weird music throughout the whole movie. And it really did not fit the movie at all. The movie should have had. Well, I honestly, that's another issue, is that I really don't think that this movie, that music would have improved this movie, because this movie's plot is just so bad and so confusing and all over the place that music is not going to do anything to help it. And so I think that that was another big issue with this movie, was the music. And the music was so weird that it actually took out of the movie at lots of points. It was good music though, it's just that it didn't fit in this movie. It was weird music for a different kind of movie, I guess. I don't know what movie it would fit in. Another problem with this movie. Well, okay, let's talk about something good. What else good is there in this movie? I'm thinking. It just nothing is coming up. Like it, I do all this on the fly, and if this movie isn't good, it's just nothing's gonna come up, and so I can't really think of anything else good about this movie. It was a huge waste of time. It was 2 hours long, and it was such a slog. I was checking every couple of seconds, like how long a movie was. Like, okay, is the movie over soon? Like, okay, is it at the halfway point? Because the movie's pacing was so bad that it really didn't indicate a beginning, a middle, and an end. It just kind of happened. Like, the whole movie just kind of happened, and there wasn't really any indicators of, like a normal plot map where you have a start and then you have the rising conflict or whatever bullshit. It really didn't have any of that at all, except for like in the opening, like I guess like 20 minutes. And that's why the opening 20 minutes was the best part, because it was the only part of the movie where it kind of felt like a okay movie, but it still was confusing. And there were all these. I genuinely, I have no idea what happened in this movie. It was some interesting idea where, like, these. Well, I'll get to it in spoilers, I guess. And so I'm going to rate this movie something really weird. Something that I just tried last night, actually. And it was an apple cider donut Oreo. And it was, oh, God. It was disgusting. It was so bad. It had this like sugary, over the top strong taste, and it was this very confusing blend of weird artificial flavors with these weird textures, because on the inside it wasn't all soft creamy. It had these like weird little textures inside of it, like there are little bugs inside there that you just chomp through. And then the cookie itself was really sugary, and you needed some sort of a flavor that was not sugary to balance out the sugariness of the cookie shell itself, the cookie itself. And so this movie just completely felt like that to me. It was the perfect food to match it with. It was confusing and weird and off the wall and didn't make sense. It was a mess. Dipping it in milk didn't even help it. Like, I dipped it in milk, and it was like, oh, ugh! Like, I just wanted to throw it up and just, like, never eat an Oreo again. And I don't know how we're going to finish that package, too, because Safi didn't like them either. And so I think, honestly, that I was basically forced to wait to watch this movie, just to wait until the night where I had that type of Oreo, because that Oreo is a perfect resemblance of the movie and how weird and confusing it is and how just not good it is. So, now on to spoilers. I really like the message of, like, no matter what you do for these bosses, that you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna get any big payouts. You're not gonna, crime isn't gonna pay, because like they had all these characters who did everything that their boss wanted, and they just, oh, they were the perfect. Oh, you got like John Hamm, and John Hamm is really, he is being wasted. He is a grade A actor, and he is being wasted in these trash movies. But he does like everything by the book for his little boss that he works for at the car company, and Matt Damon, and he just does everything he wants, and he gets all the money back for him. And then what happens? Matt Damon doesn't give him jack shit, and he says, oh, you wanted a trophy, you wanted a present for doing all this that you're supposed to do for me because we're corrupt pieces of shit. You can just go pick a little bottle of $80 alcohol over there. That scene was actually really good because that was like a perfect, like, it just felt so deflating. Like, normally with these corrupt police officer roles, they get these like big payouts, and it's like, yeah, we're all a part of it together. We're all corrupt, and you give me thousands of dollars and I'll give you thousands. Not this case. And Benicio del Toro has this really shitty ending where they do this stupid twist with Julia Fox. And Julia Fox was not very good in this movie, and she really did not fit the role at all. She's not meant for roles like this, and it really showed. She didn't give a good performance because it just wasn't for her. And but she does this stupid twist where she kills Benicio and steals all of his money, and then it gets taken away from her in like 2 seconds. And it's like, wow, that was really. But at least it's like it's consistent. It's showing that crime is not going to pay. And then Don Cheadle, they his own gang is bribes the police that they're gonna fucking kill him and just get rid of him. And it's like, oh God, this is dark, because the he just gets taken away, and it's like, really, like, he's just, that was really dark and unexpected. And then they ruin that by having it be like, oh no, we'll give you 5,000 and you can just walk away and to freedom. And it's like, that was a really stupid ending, but still, he just got this measly 5 grand for all the stuff in the movie that he went through. I mean, he deserved all that money and more, for going through all that stuff that he went through the whole movie. And so I really like that message a lot. And I think that with a better script, that message could have been even better, and that it could have been even more satisfying. There needed to be at least one satisfying ending, and there really wasn't at all any satisfying ending. And then you had the sheriff from Stranger Things, and his character sort of started off as a wimp, and as the movie went on, he sort of like grew as a character, and he got tougher and tougher. And I thought that he was going to become the third member of the heist, and I thought that he was going to join Benicio and Don Cheadle, and that he was going to be the third member, and that they were going to be like this badass trio team. But of course, that couldn't happen because the writers weren't really thinking straight when they wrote this. Sorry about that. But then you got the Macaulay Culkin's brother, he dies. And then Brendan Fraser, he dies. They're just wasted characters, honestly. They could have been played by anyone, but it was a waste of money to get them because they were just so wasted in this movie. Their talents were wasted. And that's the main issue with this movie, is that this is one of those movies where you have this perfect grade A cast, and then the movie's trash. And it's basically like a genre of movie in itself, is this type of movie where you have a perfect cast and then somehow it's still trash. It's really like it's I'm serious, it's becoming a problem because they're starting to do that more and more nowadays because they're scared that they're not going to make any precious money. And so they got to put all these stars in the roles. So they got to put Brendan Fraser. And, Brendan Fraser, he needs a movie that's good for him. He doesn't need any no sudden move movies. He needs a good movie to showcase his talent so that he can come back and kick ass again. Uh, Don Cheadle, I guess this movie's fine for him because he's a trash actor, and so you can put him in this movie. But then Benicio del Toro, he deserves a way better movie than this. I mean, he was way too good for this movie, and it was so weird how he was able to do so much with so little, and it just shows how good of an actor he is. And then you got like other actors who are just like typecast, like Ray Liotta is in this movie for like 10 minutes. And he just, it's just let him get his paycheck. Uh, that's the sad thing about this movie. It is just a complete movie. It is just a complete movie you could just ball up and throw in the trash. But the plot, I mean, how do I even describe the plot of this movie? You got, I'm not even, okay, I'm not even going to try. But it all has to do with cars and car companies conspiracy. Uh, if that doesn't tell you that this movie is stupid, I don't know what will. It all has to do with some car parts conspiracy with Ford and GM, and it's like that's just stupid. That is just completely. Oh. Not good. This movie was not good. And it was another disappointment in the year of disappointments. I'm just gonna start expecting every movie to be garbage because it's really getting quite ridiculous. And it's not my problem. I mean, I'm just a reviewer. I don't make those movies. I mean, I made Super Dumbasses, and that movie had its own problems that I talked about in the review. But I don't make these movies, okay? I don't get paid to make them. I don't make them. You should be venting your frustrations at the people who made them and the people who wrote these scripts that are so bad. But you know what? They would be accepted scripts in these screenplay classes. Like, you look at these filmmaking screenplay colleges, these college classes where you got the hack screenwriter who's never written a script that's sold in his life teaching script writing. He would accept this movie script and say it was really good, A plus. That's a problem, okay? That is the issue. With Ben Affleck, here's a little lesson about screenwriting. Ben Affleck wrote Good Will Hunting, and his teacher gave it a bad grade. And so you know what he did? He quit college, and he made the movie himself, and he won an Oscar for it. That should tell you all that you need to know about screenwriting. Is that the screenplays that people say are, quote, bad are really the ones that are good. And the screenplays nowadays that people say are bad, I mean, people say are good, are actually the bad ones. Because this script was so bad. I mean, if I saw the script and I looked through it and I pawed through it page by page, I would go, what the hell is this shit? Who wrote this? And he needs to practice. He needs to have an editor and have someone tell him, no, we're not doing, no, this story is not acceptable. It is trash and it is confusing and boring. So, anyways, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, tell me what you thought about this No Sudden Move movie. And they also wasted a good title, so that's another irritating thing. And then please subscribe to our channel for more movie reviews. And goodbye, everybody. See you soon.